The irons I'm about to review in this video claim to have all the same technology as the TaylorMade P790s, one of the most popular irons ever made. However, get this, these irons are just a third of the price tag. So first off, get this, hollow-bodied player distance irons, aerofoam technology, tungsten weighted. I mean, they are exactly the same buzzwords that a lot of the major manufacturers use. And all this for just £450 for a full set of irons. Pretty impressive, right? And they look actually really good as well. These are the Caley irons. These are the 01T. And I've got to admit, on first impressions, I wouldn't know that these were a third of the price of some of the big major manufacturers. They look fantastic. I love this chrome plated finish. Simplistic. That's the big call out I get from this set of irons. I've just got the pitching wedge in my hand here, but we've got the full set. I'm going to hit a few irons from the set. It's a beautiful looking iron. It really is. I mean, I like everything about it. I do. I like the finish. I like the shaping. Even behind the golf ball, it's a gorgeous looking iron. Right, let's get hitting some. This is a pitching wedge. I've put the green out there about 130 yards. Let's see how it flies. I'm intrigued on a couple of aspects here. What they're going to feel like, how they're going to fly, the consistency level, even the spin factor. How are these irons going to perform? It's my first ever shot with the Caley irons. Nice. Middle of the green. First hit, my impressions actually felt quite nice. Like I like the feel off the face. It's actually quite soft, to be fair. Now, as I mentioned earlier, inside this is aerofoam technology, so similar to speed foam that TaylorMade have in their irons. Now, you'd think TaylorMade, someone who kind of pioneers, they very much spend a lot of money in R&D research, really put a lot of effort into their irons. You could say that a brand like this have really just kind of copied that idea, that design, and I mean, you wouldn't be wrong, let's be honest. They've not well, I know for a fact, they've definitely not spent as much R&D money on the development of this kind of concept. They've certainly been inspired by the P790s. But for you as a consumer, you're going to benefit because you're going to get a nice set of irons for a fraction of the price. That's if they perform, that is. That's a nice shot. Felt really good. That carried 135 yards, nearly 8,500 RPM of spin. Like, not bad. Like, good numbers for a pitching wedge, to be fair. That was struck absolutely in the middle of the club face, as you can see there. Obviously, centered hits should feel good. Let's see what happens if I don't quite catch the middle. I'll hit a few more, and I'm sure inevitably I'm not going to strike them as sweet as that every time. Yeah, that was an interesting one. I mean, I caught that one a little bit heavy. It still caught the front edge of the green, but it definitely didn't feel as good. Now, kind of higher strike on the club face, as you can see there. That's a good description there. It didn't feel as packed full of power. It just felt like there was something missing, certainly on that higher strike face. Interestingly as well, as I take a little closer look at the actual grooves on the face there, the grooves don't look very deep. Like, they actually look, I don't know, just kind of like, just not very, the grooves just aren't so deep, which is interesting. That would kind of give me a little bit of concerns about spin. Not so much right now in dry conditions, but as you've seen on some testing that I've done recently with wet golf balls and dirty golf clubs, if you've not checked those videos out, do. For me, now I'm really starting to pay more attention about the grooves and how much that grips the ball and moves that kind of moisture, debris out the way. That is a bit of a concern for me. The grooves don't look very deep at all. A little bit left, not bad. Okay, no huge concerns there over the pitching wedge. Let's move back to 7-iron next. So what's interesting here, looking at the brand actually, I've just pulled up the About Us on the website. Caley was founded in 2019 by Ryan Ather, and it looks like he was obviously just a huge fan of golf, was frustrated by the high cost and complicated buying process, returned to Scotland after a brief stint at a fancy advertising agency in central London. It's quite a cool story, really, it really is. What I'm intrigued about now is this iron, the 7-iron. Lofted at 30 degrees. It's designed again at this kind of player's distance iron, this hollow-headed player distance iron. I'm expecting this to carry well into the 170s, if not knocking on the door of the 180. That's my only slight concern at the moment. As I mentioned, just the grooves just don't look like they're going to do a great deal. Like I say, in dry conditions, I'm sure fine, but in the wet links of Scotland, where these clubs have been kind of made, that would give me some levels of concern. Nice looking club behind the ball, a little bit of a top edge, kind of boxy shape to it. So similar to P790s or even T200s from Titleist. Drawn it a little bit, but that felt really nice off the face. Only just getting into the one, not even that, 168 yards of carry, a little bit short there. Give it the benefit of the doubt on the first shot, but yeah, I'm definitely expecting a bit more carry there. Maybe I didn't strike, it's absolutely in the middle, maybe slightly high. Okay, that's a golf shot. I can't hit it any better. I really can't. That was absolutely pured. You'll see that from the strike location in a minute. That was absolutely in the middle of the club face. Just give you some numbers on that. My club head speed there was 92, so actually a tiny bit higher than what I have been swinging it recently. Carry distance 175, like solid 7-iron strike there. Okay, that's golf for you, everybody. I just hit an iron that was absolutely struck the best I could have ever struck it, and then I hit that. I'm human, I really am. But that gives you a bit of an indication there. Obviously, I pretty much thinned that. You got the strike location so far off the bottom. To some degree, if I'm going to take any levels of positivity from that, it still went towards my target. It still carried 148 yards, but that was a really, really bad strike. Give you a bit of an idea of what it will do off those terrible struck shots. It's what this is all about. It's not about centered hits. Do you know what I mean? That's overrated. It's about testing all parts of the club face. There she is. There's my middle strike. Little club twirl there and everything. That's nice. A couple of things I'm noticing on the good strikes. Height is impressive. Launch angle is nice and high. Spin rate, I'm just going to check that in a second. Spin rate came in there at 6,000 RPM. So a little bit lower than, no, to be honest, that type of loft for a 7-iron, that's about the spin rate I expect. But because of the launch, because of the height, the peak height, I think that's going to stop on the green nicely. The irons, they do feel nice. However, I have got a few reservations. I'll come on to that in a minute. I don't think it's all quite as rosy. My only thing, it's not really striking me as a distance iron. You know, I think my maximum carry distance there has been 170, which this loft, or 175 has been the maximum carry distance, sorry. With this loft, I do expect a little bit more. Like, let me just see if I can crunch one and just see if it gets up to that 180. But power and distance isn't something I'm getting from this iron. Good feel, yes. Good flight, yes. But I'm not particularly getting distance from it. Even there, good strike, just slightly missed the green right that time. Come on, one more, see if we can somehow gain a bit, but I don't know if it's got it in it. That's as good as I can strike it. That's as good as I can hit it. I think that was slightly more promising. Yeah, that actually did carry bang on 180 yards, but I struck that so much out the middle. I mean, that strike pattern is not bad actually, if we look there at the bottom. Just Yeah, power's not something I'm really getting from this club. Right, let's move back to 5. The one thing I really do have to give huge credit for here is the looks of the irons. I think they're gorgeous. And interestingly, looking at the brand, Caley, the other thing that the X might represent is Ryan, who set this brand up, actually used to have a brand before this called Old Tom. Again, kind of similar style of clubs, and they had an X as part of their logo, so it might be a bit of a, again, kind of symbolisation of that. Interesting. Old Tom, the brand didn't stay around for that long. Hopefully Caley can stick around for a bit longer. And you know what, even though the price is $450, there's no shortcuts been taken. Like Lambkin grip, standard Lambkin grip I've got on these, and a KBS tour shaft, like good shaft and grip combo. There's been definitely no kind of scrimping on price in that category. As I kind of hit a few of these 5 irons, I'm going to talk about a few possible negatives. First one for me, it's a positive and a negative. Positive, it's direct to consumer. So you cut the middleman out, you save money. That's why these irons are £450, which I honestly think the price is spot on. It's brilliant. It's what iron sets used to be priced like. God, 20 years ago, iron prices were at this. Obviously, they've gone through the roof now, but I think the price is really clever and it's kind of perfect, to be honest with you. I also know they offer woods as well, and you can get a bit of a package set. Like a box set is £700. So I think they've really nailed the price on it. However, as you've got the direct to consumer, you've also got the slight negative side of things. Because on the website, when you order these as a custom set, so if you want to lengthen them, shorten them, change the length, whatever you need to do, you've got to tick a box, and then once you've ticked that box, you can't return the irons. Which, to some degree, I get. You know, you can't suddenly try, extending them by 3 inches and get them shipped and you don't like them and send them back, and what they're going to do with the set then. But it's always a risk buying online, it really is. It's good that they have custom fitting, definitely, but always just a bit of a risk. And the other thing is, it's a brand that it's not been around for long. Obviously, the irons were founded in 2019, not that long ago, only 4 years ago. How much kind of lifespan have they got? Is the company going to stay around? What's the aftercare like? If this company, God forbid, doesn't make clubs anymore, they're going to be harder to sell in the future. Just things you've got to bear in mind with a newer company, but nothing that should really scare you off, but things to consider. I actually like the irons, I do. I think they're a really nice set. I think they've done a great job. And as a set that are very, very similar, in my opinion, to the P790s, maybe not as powerful or as long, I still think they produce some great shots. Right, let's hit a few 5 irons to finish. Oh, I didn't quite catch it, but might get on the front edge of the green. Oh, that's got really short, actually. I think the forgiveness as well maybe is not as brilliant. I don't think off-centered hits are quite as rewarded as some other brands, but I mean, nothing horrendous, but I definitely feel like some of the off-centered hits I've struck. I mean, that's just high on the face and it's been really punished. Stop hitting that shot. Well, that one was struck more in the middle, even though it's a little bit left, it's got the distance. Right, come on, let's finish off with one more. Really good one. Nice set of irons they are. I like what the brand's doing. I think it's a very cool brand. I think if you had this set in the bag, I think your friends would be like, whoa, what's that brand? And I think they'd be hard pressed to guess the price if they didn't know at all. I'm going to finish with one more. I'm going to just try and hit a little fade into that flag. Oh, it's a bullet straight. Go in the hole. Not bad. Solid set of irons. Not perfect, but for the price, it might be something you could definitely look past. Guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Lots more to come. Be sure to subscribe to H.I.T, and we shall see you next time.